On today's show, what does ESPN see in Cooper Flagg that the Locked On hosts did not? They have him 52 in their top 100. We'll talk about that and more in today's Locked On Mavs.
Stop it! Stop! The number one pick will go to the Dallas Mavericks. Cooper Flagg will fly in Dallas.
Dogs, all of us, all five.
You are Locked On Mavs, your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still can't leave.
Your team every day.
I'm going to get a city like that.
And welcome. You are Locked On to the Dallas Mavericks, your team every day. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Mavs for 10 years. Thanks for being an everydayer, making Locked On Mavs your first listen and making the Locked On Podcast Network the number one sports podcast network. Joining me, as always, my co-host, media member covering the Mavs for 10 years, right alongside me, the ranking reject, the one more thinking. What you got for me, Isaac Harris?
We're so close to Mavs basketball. We even got a picture today on socials from the Mavs. Some guys in the gym. Got AD in that picture, looking like a cyborg. No, of course, people examining the eye and everything. I mean, as long as he doesn't take Tylenol, I guess he's good. But you know, I'm excited to see what he looks like on media day, and excited to see him.
You know, that's an awkward thing to say. You know. It's just... Today, we're going to get into the ESPN rankings. They released their first 50 spots, and so we're going to compare them to the Locked On rankings. And we also ranked our top 30 guards. So where does Kyrie rank in that? Does D'Angelo Russell have a chance if he has a really good season to get into that top 30? And then Giannis name dropped Anthony Davis with players that he really likes and would want to play with one day. So we'll talk about that. And I just want to start here, Isaac Harris. This Monday is media day. Excited about that. Then we have a preseason game coming up the Monday after that. And this is the final show we'll do with rankings for the year. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited about it because we'll actually have comments. We'll have things to talk about. We'll have all kinds of things. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited about this. Unless the ESPN rankings have Anthony Davis like at 25 or something like that.
Whoa, no, they're not.
Then maybe we'll come out. But ESPN released their first 51 rankings, so 51 to 100. They always do this. And going through it, the biggest one, honestly, that stood out to me, definitely because of Cooper Flagg, but also just because of how different the rankings were, was Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg was 52 on the ESPN rankings list. He was 80 on the Locked On Top 100 list. You look through and you're like, all right, Cooper Flagg at 80. I was just happy he got ranked, honestly, because I heard so many hosts telling me that he wasn't going to get ranked in the Locked On Top 100. But for ESPN, for them to put him at 52, this is closer to where you and I had him.
Yeah, I had him. I was super happy when I seen this. I went on a mini little thing about it yesterday that I just never understood the whole, even this ESPN thing. People are, quote tweeting or sharing it. And it's like, he's never even played a second in the NBA. What does that matter when it comes to you're talking about the best players that's playing basketball in the world? So you're telling me that, Luka Doncic, when he came over from Europe, is not one of the top 100 players in the NBA because I just don't get it. Or
there's 3 front offices that said that he wasn't a top 3 player in that draft. So,
well, it's just we do it all the time when we talk about players. There's different polls and stuff. Best player that's not in the NBA right now, and it's a player that's playing in Europe or something. And it's just all right, so they're not a top 100 player because they haven't played a single second in the league or something and that's what I talked about Wemby a few drafts ago. It's so you're not going to put Wemby on any ranking going into his rookie season because he hasn't logged a minute yet, or rookie LeBron, or even Zion when he came out of Duke and stuff. It just makes no sense to me. I don't understand people up in arms about it. I think it's a solid ranking. I had him at 48 in mine because of his two-way impact, and I think he's going to be one of those really, really, really good two-way wing guys in the league immediately. And if his offense kicks off further than what I think at the beginning, then I think he has a chance to be higher than that. So I think it's a good ranking.
You start to look at some of the players that they had below him, and there's not really that many egregious ones where you go, oh my gosh, how is he above these players? Zion's name jumps out to you. But
how do you rank him?
They have him down at 61. Like, obviously, that's because of injuries, right? They have
Media Day pictures, though. Shout out.
I mean, are we nervous about Zion? New skinny Zion? Where's his men's health cover?
I'm just glad that we're not in. Well, never mind. Hey, keep on.
Then LaMelo Ball at 63. He's been an all-star. Like, that's another one where you're like, oh, that kind of stood out to me. Tyler Hero was just an all-star. He was at 68. But those just seem low because of their limitations as players. It doesn't have anything to do with like Cooper Flagg just being above them. The rest
I was
of them
say, if you went around the league and polled GMs and said, hey, this next year, who would you rather have, Cooper Flagg or Tyler Hero? I would go out on a limb that majority of GMs would say, hey, give me Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, even if it was for 1 year. We're not even saying like, oh, for
yeah,
the
that's
future,
what I'm saying,
obviously.
Like 1 year, right now.
So here are the names below. Stop me if you are like, if it perks your ears up where you're like, oh, Flagg is above that guy. Alex Caruso, Paul George, Dyson Daniels, Isaiah Hartenstein, Miles Turner, Trey Murphy, Jalen Suggs. What you thought about the Trey Murphy one?
No, well, I mean, even like somebody like a Paul George, I think Paul George is the pendulum has swung pretty far of like how good he is on offense and stuff. I take Cooper's defense, but
he's down there the same reason Zion and LaMelo are.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think you're looking at it of like, all right, Caruso, Trey Murphy, Miles Turner, you know, if you look at it in that sense and saying, can Cooper have that type of impact that a Caruso has on the floor or a Trey Murphy has and all that? Yeah, you're obviously projecting, but if you're high on Cooper, and I just don't think it's possible where you're like talking out of both sides of your mouth whenever it's like, dude, he's a generational prospect. He's one of those guys, one of those guys that people tank for. And then also like, well, I don't know. He might not be better than Spencer Dinwiddie. Yeah. And it's like, what? Like, what? So yeah, I think you almost got to like talk about him in a way and rank him where he's at like that.
Yeah. And so you keep going through some of the other ones. I mentioned
who's above him.
The only one we know right now is Draymond. That's the only one we know.
Oh yeah, because
they haven't released the rest of their list, and so I'm assuming that there's a lot of them are similar, but to what the Locked On Top 100 did. But I'm assuming also that ESPN's not ranking some of the injured guys too, and so like I had Cooper Flagg at 60. So the difference between 52 and 60 could just be like the 8 guys, like the Tyrese Halliburton, Kyrie Irving, Jason Tatum, Damian Lillard, like the ones that are going to miss the season, and so I just think that this ranking. But like
you look at a guy like Alex Caruso, and you look at Caruso, and it's like, yeah, obviously we've seen the impact he had in playoffs and all this stuff. But look at Caruso's stat line. Heck, he doesn't even start, and it's like, you can't look at like a Cooper Flagg and say, all right, he's got to average these like huge, averages in his rookie season for him to be considered a top 60 player in the league. Whenever I don't think anybody's arguing about it, Alex Caruso being at 53 or 54 or something right there, because everybody knows the type of impact he can have.
I think Rylan Stiles may argue that it should be higher.
Higher? I mean, I think Jason Wallace should be on the list. I'm a huge Wallace fan, but
I don't know. I don't know if he made their list either.
Well, he made my guard ranking list that we're going to talk about today.
He didn't make ESPN's list either. Case and Wallace didn't.
They sleeping on Case and Wallace.
Case and Wallace wasn't on the Locked On Top 100, the ESPN Top 100, or the Ringer Top 100.
Yeah. All right.
Everyone is sleeping.
I'm buying property, it looks like.
Do you think his mom, Mama Wallace, do you think she would have him in the top 100?
Hit me up, real estate agents. I'm ready to buy some property on Case and Wallace Island.
Dyson Daniels is another one where it's similar to Caruso. I was listening to Locked On Hawks recently, and Brad Rowland was like, Dyson Daniels just had the most impactful season defensively a guard could possibly ever have. Like, that's how good he was. And, like, he's still at, where did he end up? He ended up at 55 on the top 100 for.
But it was 1 year, ESPN. Though.
And Dyson Daniels was at 61 on the Locked On. And it was 1 year for sure. But, like, these guys that are, my point is that these guys that are so impactful on one end of the court or the other, there is just a limitation unless you are one of the elite. And we think Cooper Flagg is going to be able to be impactful in both ways and impact the floor on offense and on defense. And so that's big. It's two-way supremacy now here over on Locked On Mavs. Coming up, Dereck Lively made the top 100. I was so happy to see this, but shocked where he landed. We'll talk about that and more coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook has all kinds of props and odds, things that you can use to get in on the action and talk about sports and to bet on them, see what you got going on there. Right now, new customers, if you can bet $5, if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the apps. See what is available. We got games. There are NBA games coming up soon. What is this first one? October 21st? Like, what? Not that far away from that. It's Warriors, Lakers. Lakers a 3.5-point favorite at home against the Warriors. This first Mavericks game is Mavs Warriors. That's the Christmas Day game. That's the only one that they have listed right here. And Isaac, guess the spread. Christmas Day game. Mavs Warriors. Warriors at home.
Yeah, it's in San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. They probably have Warriors at like 3.5.
4.5. Very, very, very close on that. Klay Thompson returning to the Bay Area. So if you feel confident about anything like that, NFL games as well, college football, all that, go and put down $5 on it. If you're ready to play, download the FanDuel app by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. Please gamble responsibly.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, part of the Raccoon Squad, listening every day. We appreciate each and every one of you for checking out the show and listening. Raccoon Squad members, assemble. Season is coming. The season is coming. I'm very excited about it. We're excited about it. We're excited for the new things we've got planned for Locked On Mavs. We're excited for Media Day. Not sure exactly what's going to happen on Media Day for us. They're doing things a little differently this year than they have in years past, but still excited to hear from everybody. We're talking about the ESPN Top 100, comparing it to the Locked On Top 100. And Dereck Lively is somebody I put 100. I threw him in there at the last minute. And as I looked at it, I was like, man, I think I should have had him higher. The list is about projection. It's about how good you think they're going to be that season. I had a couple centers above. Like I put Nikola Vucevic, and you like scoffed at me that I put him higher than Lively. And then the ESPN Top 100 comes out, and Lively is ranked 73 on the top 100, a top 75 player in the NBA. There's 450 NBA players. I just want to be clear about that. And he is a top 73 NBA player. He is above players like Brandon Ingram, DeMar DeRozan, Norman Powell. The guys right below him are Jabari Smith Jr., Jaden McDaniels, Brandon Miller, Brandon Ingram, Tumani Kamara, Nneka Okongwu, DeMar DeRozan, Andrew Nembhard, Norman Powell, Jonathan Kuminga, Tobias Harris, Jaden Ivey.
Kuminga, we get an update today?
I don't think we got our daily Kuminga update today. We did get an update on Anthony Edwards. Did you see this massive development about Anthony Edwards today?
That he was practicing. He was working on something this offseason.
No, he was trying to improve his game, and he was like comparing his game to other players. Like, this is such a big thing. I can't believe that a player would do that in the offseason. Like that shocked me today when I saw
Locked On Wolves,
the Shams Charania report on that.
They do an emergency pod on that.
They should do an emergency pod on that. He's adding a post game to his game.
I heard he was watching tape on MJ and Kobe.
I mean, if he should watch tape on MJ, like his dad would know how to expand his game and like help him in that way.
I just can't believe somebody would watch their tape.
I was cracking up today when Shams was like breaking development and Anthony
okay.
And he posted that video and I was just like, hold on, wait a second. Like,
I saw, one of my biggest pet peeves is whenever we have no news and there's like
they just create the news.
There's the aggregators for the random role players that no one gave a crap about when they played, that they're on some random podcast and somebody's like, dude, this person. Olden Polynice was on my feed today. It's like, Olden Polynice says this about LeBron. Guys, I obviously don't have a LeBron jersey hanging in my house, but do we really care what Olden Polynice is saying about LeBron enough to aggregate it? How many people on Twitter even know who Olden Polynice is? Like, I remember when I was a kid, but I'm
not going to lie. I tried to just Google his name and I spelled it wrong twice.
You probably spelled it wrong. It was just like one of those peak moments of like, guys, we're aggregating Olden Polynice. Like, what are we doing right now?
Listen, we're talking about a ranking of a ranking. So I don't know if we're
ranking of a ranking.
I don't know if we're much better than them right now.
Let me say this about the Lively thing. I love Lively. I think he can ascend into I was in the camp last year where like, hey, fully healthy season for Dereck Lively. I think I was saying like he was going to be in the same conversation as Chet as far as like the next like young big. Yeah. He obviously gets hurt. And he misses a lot of time. For me, it's a little hard for me to put him that high on a list like this after just missing so much time And yeah, I just want to see more. I want to see more developments in his game and stuff. So it's a little TBD for me of like where I would put him. I just wouldn't have him in the 70s right now. And I hate saying that. Just at this moment, he can get there, I think. But right now, I just don't have that.
Their list so far feels like they had a mandate for like certain amount of positions, because so far we've gotten, as far as centers, we've got Isaiah Hartenstein, we've got Miles Turner, we've got Dereck Lively, then we get Onyeka Okongwu, then we get, who wasn't on the Locked On Top 100 either, then we get Jonas Valanciunas at 87, Zach Edey at 88, Naz Reid at 90, Mitchell Robinson
Edey
at
made
92.
the top 100?
Yes. And then you have Jakob Poeltl at 93, Walker Kessler at 98. Like,
how you feeling about your
Walker Kessler? So on the
ranking
Locked On Top 100, Walker Kessler got like also receiving votes from a couple people, and David
from
Locke.
who? Locke and
David
who else?
Locke. No, David Locke replied in our group chat and said Walker Kessler, all caps, because he was excited that some people gave him votes.
Why are we voting for him?
Yeah, I don't even think he voted for him in his top 100. But this is what I mean. Like, I think that they had a certain amount of centers that they wanted to add. Like, all right, we're gonna put 10 centers in the top 100. Or from this, it looks like they were putting like 15 in their top 100. And so if they had that kind of mandate, then I kind of get this, and I get why Lively may seem too high. But honestly, as a talent and as like a player himself, he should be this high. He's that impactful. He was a starting center on a finals team and played in the finals and proved that he could play. And that was as a rookie too. And so
he hit a 3 in the finals.
He hit a 3 in the NBA finals, his first 3 ever. And the minority owner of the team says that the 3 ball from Dereck Lively, that's what the season depends on. So, but I think that it's right to have him on the list for sure. I think he's definitely a top 100 player in the NBA. I am with you though on the injury part of it. It's like, show me some more. Show me that you won't get hurt. I'm confident that he will not be dealing with the amount of injuries he dealt with the last couple of years, because they've all just been these freak injuries. He's been getting stronger. He's been working in the offseason. The training staff has changed, and I think that's probably big for him, because remember, you had that whole foot ankle thing last year with him. Like that
at least they have certificates now. For him,
certifications.
And for him, it's like majority of his time he's played with Luka too. I do think he's like he's better. He's good enough of a player to play without Luka. I'm not saying he's just a Luka type of guy, but majority of his offense stuff has been playing with Luka too. So it's like you have the combination of he's one of those guys going into training camp, preseason, first of the season that I'm really excited to see him play, because I want to see him play without Luka and I want to see him healthy. So what has he been like working on? How does he look? How does he look in a 2-big system? Does it all fit together perfectly to maximize his game? So I just think there's a lot of little question marks with him right now for me to be confident to say, yes, he's at 72 in the NBA.
Yeah, he's 73. Would you feel better if he was at 73?
Oh yeah, I'm fine with 73.
Okay, yeah, that's where ESPN had him. I think Lively is though a good enough pick and roll defender that he will make pick and roll guards better. Like I think we've seen that.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to see him with D'Angelo Russell. I'm excited to see him with the Mavs other guards they have. Obviously with Cooper Flagg handling the ball, with AD, whatever kind of like high post game that they try to work out. PJ Washington ranked 95 on ESPN's list. He made the list. You were excited that he made it because you had him on your top 100, correct?
It's funny. I had him at 96 on mine. So yeah, I just think he's one of those guys. Like he's one of those wing guys in the league that you look at him before that. I mean, when he went down with his injury before the big trade and all this stuff with Luka, it was like, man, they really don't have anybody that can like do what PJ does. Like they can't really replace him. And he was playing at a high level, hitting a good, the role he was playing, I thought it fit everything, the Mavs and PJ at a really high level. And so I had a top 100 player, and I think he should be.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Started looking at the list and started looking at some of the players I had, even at the bottom of my list. Like I had Lively at 100, Dylan Harper 99, RJ Barrett 98, Jalen Duren, Vooch, Christian Brown, Tari Eason, Aaron.
Yeah,
Nesmith,
it's like why would you?
Ausar Thompson, and I'm like, I start looking through the list, and I'm like, well, PJ Washington is going to be as impactful as all those players.
I know, it's like you look at like a Cam Thomas. Who would you rather have, Cam Thomas or PJ Washington? I would take PJ Washington.
Depends on what kind of team I have. If I'm starting a team from nothing, give me a bucket getter.
But yeah, just some of those guys like Brad Beal or PJ Washington.
I'll take. I
say Brad Beal.
I would take
will log
PJ,
off.
but I had Brad Beal on my top 100, and so if you look at it that way, yeah, it is. It is. I would rather
I
take
hope
PJ.
your Vader helmet falls off your shelf. Do you want to talk about guards?
Do we want to talk about how you got a lightsaber at Disney World?
I did, and it is awesome.
Guys, I've got him. I got him.
I
hooked.
blame you.
I got it. I know. I got
Nick
him
over
hooked.
here used to live down the road from Disney and just went all the time. I was super jealous. I go to Disney one time and I come home and I have this like lightsaber in my office now.
You just texted me a video and you're like, I got something.
And I got a resistance helmet.
Yeah, you did. You got a Starfighter helmet.
Yeah, the people on my team, they walked in my office and they're like, "What is that? Why do you have this on your shelf with all your books?" I'm like, "Calm down. It's Luke's.
Let me live. Let me live."
Yeah. Get off me."
Coming up, we ranked the top 30 guards in the NBA. Is Kyrie still a top 30 guard? Can D'Angelo Russell crack that list? We'll talk about that and more coming up.
I'm not a doctor, so I don't know.
All right, Isaac, we're talking about rankings of rankings. We talked about the ESPN ranking compared to the Locked On Top 100 ranking. Now we're ranking our own rankings with the top 30 guards. To be fair, we do this every year. We've been doing this longer, I think, than the ESPN Top 100 has even been doing it, because we've done this since 2017 every year. And so this is our last one. We'll do guards. We did wings yesterday. We did bigs the day before that, so you can go listen to those shows if you missed those. Go check them out. But let's just start and go through the guards that we had until we get to Kyrie.
Oh,
I had
SGA
number 1. I had Luka number 2. I had Steph number 3. I'm pretty sure you had at least a similar top 3.
Yeah, pretty much. Do you want me to give you my exact ones?
Yeah, what was different?
No, I had SGA, Luka, and before y'all get mad, the Luka stands, like, I just don't think you can argue against SGA right now after the season you just had. So yeah, SGA, Luka, Steph.
Can we take 1 second? Are the Luka stands still in here? Like, you guys
they are.
You guys are still here. Still lurking?
They're still here.
Still here?
They lurk, they watch, and they
Is this
lurk.
clip gonna get shared somewhere? Are we gonna get?
They lurk and watch, but then they
Still have SGA over it.
they go over to the Kamenetsky brothers and they're like, "All right, we'll double."
Are you guys
dip on it."
twins? Do you think they just ask that every day? Then I had Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, Cade Cunningham, and I still had Tyrese Halliburton. I ranked him.
Yes, I do too. Where do you have Booker?
I have Booker right after James Harden. I have Booker at 9.
How are you too low on Booker?
Booker had an awful season last year.
Yeah. God, I don't want to defend Booker.
Defend him because
No,
I don't
I
get
can't.
it.
I just think he cares. I think he plays defense, and yeah. Anyway, I had some combination of after SGA and Luka and Steph, Halliburton, Brunson, Donovan Mitchell.
Also,
Booker.
James Harden was on the All NBA team, so it's not like all these guys above him were basically All NBA players.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't have James Harden up there in that group. Cade Cunningham, and then right after that, I have Kyrie at 9.
I have Kyrie at 10. James Harden is the one that you don't have.
No. Like, we're obviously doing these rankings because Kyrie, like, is saying, like, hey, if Kyrie's healthy, like, when Kyrie's healthy, is he a top 10 player in the league right now? Or top 10 guard in the league? And I think he's a top 10 guard. I would have him over James Harden.
If I knew Kyrie was going to be healthy for like the full season, I would put him above Harden. I would put him at 8 probably. The only guards I would take above Kyrie Irving, a healthy Kyrie Irving, Halliburton, Cade Cunningham, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, Curry, Doncic, SGA. Those are the only ones I would take.
Any other people? Who do you think people would argue about? I think some people would take Ja over him.
Booker is one. Ja maybe one that they would argue. And that's maybe it. Like, there's maybe someone
you wouldn't
deep
take
in
Booker
Atlanta
over Kyrie. That's
am
really tough.
I doing for a season?
Yeah, for next year.
I would still take Kyrie.
Okay.
Listen to this. Kyrie.
I'm not going to sit here and defend that because I love Kyrie too much, and
listen
I
to
don't
this.
like Booker.
Listen to this defense of Kyrie Irving. Ready? This is how far we've come on Kyrie. Better leader, Kyrie Irving. Way better leader, Kyrie Irving. Bringing the team together. Everybody looks up to him on the team. People are learning from him on the team. Everybody
you don't have
points.
to sell me on Kyrie. I love
Everybody
Kyrie.
points to him. No, I'm selling everybody else. Selling everybody that's like, it'd be crazy for you to take Kyrie over Booker. I'd much rather have that.
Okay. I lean to Booker just for the two-way stuff. I think he's better. He's bigger, better defender and stuff. But
why are his teams bad?
his teams are bad. I would take Kyrie over Trae Young. I would take Kyrie over
Same.
De'Aaron Fox.
Yep.
I'm kind of
Darius Garland may be one that some people would argue.
No. Tyrese Maxey. Obviously Harden. You'll throw Harden in there. For me, it was kind of easier to do like a top 15, top 16 guards in the league.
Yeah, that top 16 is pretty set.
Yeah. After that, good luck. However because
Okay,
I don't put Damian Lillard in the top 16.
Yeah, I put him at 17.
Yeah, I had him at 17 also. I just couldn't do it. His defense was too atrocious before
It was like just out of respect
Achilles.
because it was like, all right, I'll take the chance that Damian Lillard comes back to form. Then I would take Tyler Hero or a chance on LaMelo Ball or I have Fred VanVleet at
Hero.
20, and Fred VanVleet would be off now.
Yeah. VanVleet would be off.
And then
Forgot about Hero.
okay, so the rest of them I had after Damian Lillard. So that top 16, we pretty much have the same players. Then it's Lillard,
Here we
LaMelo
go.
Ball, Tyler Hero, Fred VanVleet, Austin Reeves, Norman Powell, Jalen Suggs, Drew Holiday, Kobe White. I put Andrew Nembhard on because when we talked about it yesterday, the more I thought about it, I was like, that is definitely a guard.
Oh, if Nembhard's going to be a guard, I love Nembhard. I would put him like 17 over Dame.
Yeah. Well,
I think he's that good.
Yeah. And then like the end of the list, you start going, this is where D'Angelo Russell could come into play. Because at the end of my list, I have Anthony Simons, Bradley Beal, Cam Thomas, Emmanuel Quickly. And I started to look at it and go, man, I think that like, I could be talked into any players above that group of four right there. Like D'Angelo Russell could absolutely make his way onto this list. And I could definitely hear a case for Cason Wallace, Josh Giddey, even Jordan Poole, Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle.
Yeah, I had Dylan Harper in my top 25. My last five was
Top
Wallace.
25?
Yeah, I think
Who did
Harper's that good.
Who'd you have below him?
Below him,
Yeah.
LaMelo.
You're really low on LaMelo.
Yeah, I mean, do we really want make the case for LaMelo? I'd love to know what case there is.
Incredible talent.
Incredible go-kart driver on a roof. He does nothing. Like, yeah,
Star. He's got star power quality.
yeah, he's your Kuzma guy.
They are
Jalen
very
Suggs,
similar.
Giddey, Drew Holiday. I got one for you. That's
Oh, no. Come on. Give it to me. Come on.
You're gonna laugh, but I have Scoot at 21.
Scoot Henderson?
I'm still all in, man.
Are you sure you didn't write Scooter Tomlin instead and like just
I do love Scooter. I think Scoot Henderson's gonna have a really good year. And
wow.
I liked, dude. I watched
Wait, okay. You had Scoot Henderson at what number?
21.
Would he have made your top 100? Did he make your top 100?
No, he didn't.
I need to go back because we had the Locked On host like rank their we had them rank like their top 5 most impactful players on the team. And I don't know that Mike Richmond had Scoot Henderson in his top 5 of Blazer players.
Stop it. There were 2 teams last year that I watched a lot on League Pass, and that was the Hawks and the Blazers. And I really liked some of the stuff I saw with Scoot. And I'm kind of buying into the Scoot with Chauncey, Dame's back, Drew's there, the system's in place. I don't know. I know I'm gonna look dumb, but I'm in on Scoot.
Scoot Henderson. Didn't Scoot Henderson have like historically awful?
Get off.
I'm not. You said I was gonna laugh at you, and I'm just fulfilling what
laughing.
you just said.
I had Kobe White in the top 20.
I had Kobe White 25, so not that far.
Had him at 19. You didn't have DeJounte Murray in yours, right?
I did not have DeJounte Murray. He's out for most of the season.
Okay. I mean, so is Dame. You
Okay,
ranked
wait.
him.
I found it. So we all had to submit like our top players for our team, basically. So that we had a submission pool for the Locked On Top 100. So we submitted for ours. We submitted Anthony Davis, Kyrie, Cooper Flagg, PJ Washington, Dereck Lively, and Daniel Gafford. We submitted 6.
Yeah.
Some submitted 7, like Thunder submitted 7.
Oh, come on.
They would have all made your list. SGA, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, Lou Dort, Isaiah Hartenstein, Alex Caruso, Casey Wallace.
Yeah, they all did make my list.
They all made your list, all 7 of them. The Blazers submitted Denny Avdia, Tumani Kamara, Drew Holiday, and then Mike put Shaden Sharp with a question mark. And so then the question mark ended up in the submission pool because they just copied and pasted them all. So
that's awesome.
Every time when you went and tried to vote for if you tried to vote for Shaden Sharp, it had a question mark next to it. So he didn't even submit it. He didn't even submit Scoot Henderson.
Okay, all right. I'll take Casey Wallace, Scoot Henderson.
We're gonna need to get you on Locked On Blazers to talk about how high you are on
some property. You didn't have Alexander Walker in yours?
Nikhil?
Yeah.
No, I think he's a wing, but
Okay.
I guess he is a little Nemhardy where you're like you could see him as a guard.
Austin Reeves, is he a top 20 guard in the league?
I had him at 21, so I think so.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I had him right around that 20 range.
If he was in the Luka trade and on the Mavericks, yes, I would have had him. Had him at like 18,
just for content. I also think you're a little too low on Josh Giddey. I think Josh Giddey's still good.
That's when I looked at where I was like, man, would I really take Simons, Bradley Beal, Cam Thomas? Like if I did it again.
I mean, I didn't have him at 16.
I would put Giddey at 27 probably. That's where I'd have him. I'd still take Nemhard.
27's too high for Giddey. He likes like 17 in that range. I just led you right into that one. I was just driving the car, just waiting for you to keep going. You know,
I can't even play the Jason Kidd card drop. I can't even play that on for this joke.
Speaking of that Kidd drop,
that was for the Raccoon Squad. That one right there.
The Kidd drop about I'm not a doctor.
I'm not a doctor, so
put the money in the bag. We're hearing that on media day when he's asked about Anthony Davis.
I might as well just have the drop like on an easy button with me and just like hit the button when he gets on stage. I should just hand it to him. I should just hand him the button and he just hits it.
Eddie raised his hand and he's like, "Hey, what do you know about Anthony Davis right now?" And you just like reach up.
I'm not a doctor, so I don't know.
Is this going to be the most used drop this season for us?
Ugh. Kyrie updates.
This was the number one for last season for sure.
Explain yourself. Sorry.
That wasn't lie. Yeah. For Kyrie updates, he's gonna say I'm not a doctor. AD stuff, I'm not a doctor. Cooper Flagg's just a basketball player.
We should go back and go through our number one drops for the season. Like so, the Jalen Brunson Immaculate Vibes one was definitely 2022.
Good times, man.
That was a great one. This one for the 2023 was this one.
I'm not playing. I'm watching, just like you guys.
For sure, that one was number one.
What was
the number one during the finals year?
The Frank one got some run.
People forget about Frank was really good. That was 2023 as well.
Frank's that one is such a specific drop. Where is Ntilikina nowadays? Frankie smokes.
Man. People forget.
I know. I forget where he's at.
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs. We'll be back tomorrow with Slightly. Isaac and I will be having some fun on the show. Thanks so much for listening to Locked On Mavs.
Peace out.
Boom!
I'm not a doctor, so I don't know.